Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor. Okay y'all, let's get right into it. As you guys can see, my hair has been braided into individual parts and my hair is not black right now. Okay, I dyed it a little while ago, but this is still going to be a crochet hairstyle even though it's individual. It's going to be individual all over. And it took me forever, okay? But first, you guys are going to want to oil your scalp. That's the number one. This is a protective style. You want to make sure that you're tending to your hair underneath the style as well. Okay, and as you guys can see, the ends of my braids was a little fuzzy because my mom didn't use the usual product that she usually uses, which is this stuff, which is this Main Choice braid out, like, gel type stuff, but it's super sticky and I love it when she braids my hair with it because it smells so good. But it also is really good for my ends because it like keeps them tamed and it like curls them up really well, and you know, so it's not sticking out of the lock. I love this stuff. The lock that I'm going to be using in this video is the Freetress 3x BONA LOC in 34 inches. I've had these locks twice before, but in the copper color, as you guys have seen here on my channel. So I decided to try the black on top of my already copper hair. And then to wrap the locks, I'm going to be using the Springy Afro Twist here by Outre. Okay, and I started off with the back of my head just because, you know, I thought that was going to be the hardest part, so I wanted to start there first. So I'm just sectioning off my hair and leaving out, you know, each row as I go. So at this point, I was about halfway done with the back of my head and I was just twisting about. I would say the back wasn't the hardest. I do recommend using some kind of mirror behind you because I did not. And because of that, you were able to see some of my red hair and the base of the locks for me. I was trying to get my mother to do it, but she didn't want to do it, so I had to do it. And I wasn't feeling like setting up a whole bunch of mirrors. But as you can see, I'm twisting them and then I'm spraying them with Got2b spray because I seen somebody do it like that on YouTube. Usually I would have used nail glue, but I already had the Got2b spray, so I was like, okay, why not try it? Okay, so I'm showing you guys real close up how I did it. So I'm putting the crochet needle going down towards the side that I'm on, right? Then I'm pulling them up under the lock, right? And then I'm putting the braid through the loop instead of putting the whole lock through the loop. And then I just pull it through, right? Now, if I would have done this over, I would have done it the opposite way to where the braid was underneath the lock, because then I think that would have camouflaged my red hair a bit better. I'm just going to say this right now. I don't even recommend that you do locks that's a different color than your hair on yourself, because you ain't going to be able to see everything. And the girls who master this at home and are able to camouflage the other hair color underneath the hair, child, you are an artist. So in the beginning, when I was wrapping the hair around the locks right in the back of my head, I was keeping the full length of the hair. As I went on, I started to cut the hair in half, and I just kind of like fluff it out a bit so that it's not like one little piece string, because with it being more fluffed out, you'll be able to wrap more of the hair as you're going down. You know, it won't take as long to wrap it, and it'll make it a lot easier. So I just take the hair and I fold that onto the crochet needle. I think that's when I was using the full length still, yeah. I wrap that onto the full needle, but as you can see, I'm not doing it evenly. Like, I'm leaving one side shorter. Then I just pull that through. I put it underneath both the braid and the lock, like the same way I pulled the other two through. And then I leave a short amount out right there because that's going to get wrapped along with the lock and my actual hair. So I'm putting those three pieces together, and then with that other long side, I fluff it out, and then I start to wrap it. Now, when you get to wrapping at the base, I'm going to need you to wrap a few times because sometimes it don't take, and then you're going to see your hair through. Okay, you have to wrap at the top a few times so you can cover that up. And you want to make sure that you're covering your hair on the flip side as well, not just on the side that you can see, but underneath as well. You know, you want to make sure you ain't seeing no other colored hair if your hair is a different color. Now, if your hair is black and you doing black locks, it ain't really gonna matter because it's gonna be pretty camouflaged, but you still wanna, you know, cross your T's and dot your I's. Now, wrapping the back of your head is a bit harder. As you guys can see, I'm able to grip the lock and have a little bit more control on the side and the front of my head. And just watch my fingers and the way they're moving. You know, I'm using my thumb to keep that piece of hair, you know, fanned out and not getting, you know, all tight to where it's not covering well. And then I just take that got to be spray again and I spray that at the end of the hair and I just roll it around in the palm of my hand to, you know, get it sticky and to stick in to itself. And that is what it looks like after it's all done. Now, if you don't want to use the got to be spray, you can also use like Kiss nail glue, which a lot of people use and I have used in the past, which I will say does last longer after having this style. So I started doing the front of my head, and this is when I realized how I should actually been putting the lock in before. So I realized that I should have been putting the lock underneath the braid when I'm crocheting it, so that the braid would fall under the lock. But I was doing the front of my head because I started to run out of that springy hair. So if you're gonna get that springy hair, I would get like two at the least, three if you have a lot of hair. I have a lot of hair and I had a lot of braids on my head, so I needed them extra packs of hair. And as you can see here, by me reversing how I put the lock through, it made it so that my hair fell underneath the lock in the way that it would fall like naturally on my head instead of on top of the lock, making it just a little bit harder to camouflage. And then I'm just crocheting that Afro twist here underneath as well and pulling it through so that one side is shorter than the other. As you guys can see here, I started to wrap my hair and I left some of the red hair a little visible while I was wrapping it, and I tried to go back down and cover it up, but it didn't really work. And you see right there, look at that. Now that's not cute. I had to unravel it. And I was just being so tedious because my hair's already in individual braids. And the whole point of doing an individual crochet method is so that you have more versatility than you would have um, with a cornrow um, crochet style. Because if you don't have the versatility, then what's the point? And if my red hair was showing through the lock, I wouldn't even be able to lift the hair up. Like, it would look stupid. And as you guys can see, there was a few other locks that I had showing the my hair underneath, and I had to go back and redo those as well. Y'all, and when y'all are doing this hairstyle on yourselves, you have to get comfortable with moving your body and contorting and, you know, just moving your body to get this done correctly, okay? And this was the end of the first night. That's how much hair I had left in the middle of my head. um I was done. I was tired. I finished the front so I could go get more springy hair the next day. So this was after I had finished wrapping all of them, and as you can see my red hair through, and I was I was really pissed off, and I was feeling like I should have just done the copper locks like I did before. I had to use some other hair that I had in the house because I didn't have any more, and I ended up having to go get more of this goddamn springy hair because, like I mentioned before, the flip side was showing my red hair. Honestly, y'all, at this point, I was really, really over it. I was in a lot of pain. My head was itching, and I had to go back up under these locks to do some more damn wrapping. I would never do this again. I would never do another color over my hair. You know, I would never do locks that are different color from my hair. I would never do this shit ever again. If I was ever gonna do this again, I would just dye my hair the color that I want the locks to be, or have a professional do it, because I was pissed off. I actually still am pretty pissed off about it. Y'all, this was after all the wrapping was finally done. I was so annoyed, but as you can see, I got it wrapped to where when I was lifting the hair, it wasn't too much red showing. It was still a little bit showing, but at this point, I was done. Left but done. Competition, why yes, I would love some. I was over it, but it wasn't horrible. Okay, so would I do this again? Absolutely fucking not. Only if my hair is the same color as the locks. Don't do this shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one.